So hello and welcome to my first drive time show. Today we will be discussing two topics, and the first topic being the Rugby World Cup, and the second one being about the 5p bag charge. Now, these obviously to make you aware, these topics are exclusive from the viewers. This is what they've asked me to talk about, and this is for assignment purposes and why I'm doing these videos. So let's talk about the Rugby World Cup. So the Rugby World Cup regarding England's failure. So why has the England World Cup been a failure for the England team? Well, there's a few different reasons really. If you look over the last 4 years, you look at New Zealand, you look at Australia, their team have a core of players. They don't swap or change like the England team do. And if you've watched England rugby in the Six Nations, for instance, it's a different team week in, week out. Now, that's not to say that England have really bad players. England do have, they are really, really good. The only problem is, like I say, is the continuity. So if we went into the World Cup knowing that we weren't very good, then, well, not knowing we weren't very good, but didn't have that continuity. To be honest, I don't think we had any chance to win it. Okay? Before the Rugby World Cup, I did actually predict England to win the World Cup. So where did they actually go wrong? Okay, so the first 3 games, so we were obviously in the group of death, England were, and unfortunately being in the group of death meant we had Australia and Wales. And with that came obviously the other teams of Fiji and Uruguay. Played really, really well against Fiji, I thought. The Fiji players played really well as well. But then we came to Wales. England dominating the Wales game for a good 65 minutes, and then Wales turned it on. Now, Wales have a core of players. They've been together with each other for years and years and years. And that last 15 minutes did dampen England's World Cup chances. So, one reason, we don't have any continuity with our players. We have probably about 6 or 7 players that we keep the same. But that's it, and it changes week in, week out. Same again in the World Cup, we had Sam Burgess playing. Didn't play many England games, but we decided to play him. So, yes. Well, is he good enough? Of course he's good enough for rugby league, but he's still learning the rugby union game. You can't blame him. It was obviously Stuart Lancaster's pick, and Stuart Lancaster picked him for obviously valid reasons. And to be honest with you, I thought Burgess did play quite well for us. So, the Australia game. Well, we were underdogs, to be honest with you. Australia played absolutely fantastically, and we didn't turn up. End of. That's what I have to say on that, really. It was just a poor game from an Englishman's point of view. And, well, there were bits of it which were really, really good. So what else let us down? Yeah, it's the team selection. Who did you play at number 10, the fly half? Is it Farrell? Is it Ford? Well, that was another thing that we had problems with in our England team selection. The team players, in their training obviously not being there, it's hard to distinguish who's better, to be honest with you. And obviously Stuart Lancaster picked his favourites, and he thought that team would do great in them games. But yeah, so that was one of the key decisions, and I think it is the team selection, and it does go back to the management of the team as well, because they did obviously pick that team. I thought Chris Robshaw as the captain did fantastically. There are people that said, wow, he's had 4 years now, we need to change. I don't think so. I think if we keep the lineup of Stuart Lancaster and Chris Robshaw, we will do fantastically well. So, that brings us on to our second topic of the 5p bag charge. So there are a couple of people walking in front of me now while I'm at traffic lights, and they've got reusable Morrison's bags. Okay, Now that's what we're going to be seeing on our high streets, that when you're walking around, when you're driving, when you're on the bus, reusable bags. Because the plastic bags over the years have been thinned out, and people don't trust them as much. So why would we want to pay for a 5p bag that's not actually going to do the job? Okay, so the 5p bags charge it's come into play because of the environment, and the environment is changing every day. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but here it's now gone from cloudy to raining within the space of 5 minutes. Not even that dark the clouds are, but it is raining here. The sun's up there as well, you can see the lights, the sun's rays, the environment. So what we got to do, we've got to protect the environment. That's what the government's saying. Bring a 5p bag charge into play. Now, you may have heard on the news about Tesco's, and we will plug Tesco's into this video, about people stealing baskets instead of paying the 5p charge. Now, I did a bit of research on this, and there was an episode in Wales in 2012 when they introduced the 5p bag charge there, and 500 baskets were stolen from one Tesco store, and they were selling them on eBay for £25 a go. Now, to be honest with you, that's bad. You can't thieve a basket. It's for everyone's use. But the plastic bag, yes. To be honest with you, I do actually agree with the 5p charge. We do need to protect our environment, not just for us, but for the future. But there are pros and cons for it. Why have we gone so long without paying for the 5p charge? And why are we just introducing it now in 2015? So we've known about our environment for ages. Okay, we knew that we were going to have problems with the environment when we produce cars, mass-produced cars, what they give out, pollutes, and all that. 5p bag charge. Okay, so bring it in 2015. That's the question. A bit too late for me. I don't think it's going to change much to the world. The world's always going to be warming up. That's just evolution for you. And if you actually look at the science cause of the change of like the Earth and us evolving, I don't think much of taxing people on a plastic bag is going to change much. But like I say, I do agree with it, but I just feel the timing of it is a bit too late. Okay, so let's talk about the 5p bag charge and different people. So let's talk about Lidl, Marks and Spencer's, Aldi. They already introduced it. They introduced it ages and ages ago. Years and years they've been charging for bags. Okay, but now everyone else is charging for them too. Let's talk about Lidl, for instance. I think their cheapest carrier bag's 3p. So does that mean now their carrier bags are going to go to 5p? I don't know. Probably need to research that and give you an answer on that one. But I think us English people are a bit slow. Okay, we're very innovative. Okay, we want to make things, and we don't think about the consequences sometimes. So we pollute our planet, obviously due to cars, but we don't see the consequences. We don't look at the 5p bag charge. So we're making these carrier bags and plastic and all this, but we don't look at it. We let other people take the lead first. And we did. We obviously saw Lidl and Aldi. They're obviously European supermarkets. They're not just UK supermarkets. And they took suit first. Obviously Marks and Spencer's. Well, Marks and Spencer's have always charged for their bags for years and years. And to be honest with you, the different people and different categories that shop in that store are used to it. So to be honest, they've probably got reusable bags. And their carrier bags, have been noticed, are stronger than the usual supermarket carrier bags. Okay, so there's my two topics of the day. Rugby World Cup, the England failure. So just to sum up on that, I believe it was the team selection, and it does go back down to the management. It's gone for the last 4 years. We haven't had a set core. That's the same for England. Football, rugby. If you look at the cricket, they've always had near enough the same team week in, week out, game on, game in. So yes, that's our problem, is we don't have a core of players that we play all of the time. Yeah. So what else do we have? Talking about the 5p bag charge. So to sum up, I agree with it. I just feel it's a bit too late. 2015 is probably not the best time to have done it. Probably earlier would have been best to do it. So as we are just pulling up for uni now, yes, our next topics, well, I hope you can tune in for tomorrow's bulletin on our video. It is about World Terror, so War on Terror, and what was the other one? Oh, the Game of Life. So the difference between going to university and going to work before you actually do anything. So when you leave school. Hope you tune in, hope you enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.